So what do you make of that decision?
Well, that decision's come a little bit later than expected, thank goodness. I think the Victorian government, by doing that and taking it in its own hands, was completely off its head, like many other people think. But I think what people need to realise when it comes to states and territories, Pete, is they might be good at doing the vaccine rollouts and fabulous and good on them for standing up and doing what they've done through the COVID-19. But seriously, when it comes to foreign policy and national security, I would suggest they take a step backwards and let the federal government do its job.
Do you think that the state government of Victoria fell into a trap here and it was exposed very craftily by the Chinese?
I think the Chinese were very sly in the way that they did that. But I am very surprised that the Victorian government fell into it. Actually, we're still not quite 100% sure exactly whether they got anything out of it personally behind closed doors or what went on there. But quite frankly, thinking that you can make decisions at a state or territory level when it comes to our foreign policy and our national security, you're absolutely nuts. It's never going to happen, and it should never happen. We've got to do what's in the national interest, not what is in a state interest when it comes to these situations.
As expected, the Chinese embassy, has bitten back. It says that this decision will threaten further damage to the relations between China and Australia as well. So are you anticipating that there will be some blowback, and if so, what form?
You know what? It seems that it's all bark and very little bite, to be honest with you, when it comes to China. I think most of us are just rolling our eyes back and getting on with the daily grind down here in Australia. I don't think so far we thought would have this massive effect on our markets and our market power out there. People have been smart enough now. They're finding other countries that they can go to and get their market product out there. And I think that's a fabulous thing. I suggest that they keep doing that, because God only knows where this is going to end up. But rolling over like a dog to China is never going to be in the best interest of this country. We've always stood up for what we believe in, and we need to continue to do that, because that is the Australian way.
It has had a pretty big effect, though, in the decisions that they have made so far. Yes, you are right that various industries are finding alternative markets now, but, the wine industry is losing out big time by not being able to export to China.
I think it's bizarre, actually, because the wine industry down here in Tasmania hasn't made one phone call to me, and that's not what I'm hearing on the ground in Tasmania. They're doing quite well out of it. I'm not 100% what's going on around the rest of the nation, but you need to find other markets out there. Do not wait for the federal government to do that. Try and do that yourselves. Get up, make some calls, see what you can actually do. But quite frankly, there's certain things that they need off us, like our iron ore and other resources down here, and I wouldn't be too concerned about that right now.
Are you worried that they'd go after iron ore?
I think they need the iron ore, mate. So I think they're going to continue to buy that. I think they've, what suits them, they've left alone, and what doesn't and what they don't actually need, they've gone after. So, they can't have their cake and eat it too. I think the rest of the world's also watching them, obviously. They're not happy in the way that they've treated Australia. They're not doing any of their foreign relations with other countries out there any good. So let them keep trying their luck.
Okay, so Victoria's Belt and Road Initiative, so that's been torn up now. Should the Port of Darwin deal be next?
I think we've been very, very concerned about that lease on the Port of Darwin that had 99 years. I'm beyond why you would do that. I actually believe it should be torn up. We have a couple of thousand Marines up there. The US is sitting up there. It is in our national interest to do something about that Port of Darwin. It is the top end of Australia. If we're going to be attacked, let's be honest here, that's the first place that's going to hit it. Most of our military resources should be right up along that top end of Australia. We're not doing that either. Quite frankly, I think it's about time we had a good look at that Port of Darwin, because if anything goes on in the future, when it comes to our national security, you can guarantee we're going to need to be operating from there. It's going to be a very big part of that.
Okay, just before you go, Senator, the Biden administration has said overnight that Australia is not doing enough when it comes to climate policy. It actually called what we've done so far insufficient. What do you make of that?
I think, I've heard the announcements that have come out about what the reductions that Scott Morrison would like to get to, or the PM, by 2050. I find it bizarre. I think a lot of us now starting to see too much talk and not enough walk. I think that I suggest you get back to the table at the Paris Agreement, at least show your face there. Show some courage. And I think when you're talking about Biden and he's got 40 of the world leaders around that round table, I suggest you probably need to get your butt on one of those seats. That would have been, showing a mateship there and doing the right thing, and they haven't done that. So let's see where this goes over the next few weeks, and let's see whether or not the federal government, the Libs there, are actually starting to get serious about this.
Okay, Senator Jacqui Lambie, always good to talk. Chat to you again soon.
Thank you so much.